fresh off of his first ever win there for Steinbrenner baseball. He's a Tampa lifer and a huge Buccaneer fan, the one and only Chenzo Scanio. I hope your mom and dad and your sister and everybody are watching. If you are, hi to the people that we love the most. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, Jay?
I'm so happy for you, man. I'm really, really happy that you were able to find a home at a place like Steinbrenner. What was that like last night to be on the field, to have your own gig? You know, you're not assistant coaching with dad anymore. You're not helping out at Hit Factory or helping me out. We coached together a couple times in Hit Factory days. But to have your own thing and to be able to come away with a victory last night, what was that like?
Yeah, I was thinking about this earlier this morning. You know, I've coached a lot of games now. We've won a lot of games last 5 years in college and doing the collegiate wood bat league. But last night was a little bit, it was different, right? To have 15, 20 family members, friends in the stands, to be there and kind of be a part of it. Something that's pretty cool. And the big reason of why, you know, we made the move back down to do this. So that part of it was pretty cool.
And you take over for an absolute living legend in John Crumbley, a good buddy of mine, and many, many years there at Jesuit, and then the only coach there at Steinbrenner since, you know, I remember when I was coaching Steinbrenner, this is a new school, a year or two into existence. I mean, what does that mean to take over from a guy that has such an incredible legacy in our area?
Yeah, I mean, I've said this before. It's not a job where you come in and you just start changing everything. It's like, okay, what are we really good at? What has Coach Crumbley done well? And then kind of keep going from there. You know, I said this before as well. I think there was only about 4 or 5 jobs that we were really interested in coming home for. And when this one came open, one of the first things I did was call Coach Crumbley and get his input on it. And then, you know, we're here today and it's turned out pretty well. But yeah, it's been pretty special to take over for a guy like that.
And Donna Carter, AC's mom, she's watching. Hi, Chenzo, from a former Wellswood mom. And, you know, I was at TC last night hanging out with the Russo boys and watching them and just talk about you know, as well as anybody, what baseball means to this area and especially high school baseball. And, you know, I'm sure, you know, like you said, the draw of going back to Steinbrenner is big, but just talk about Tampa and how baseball is kind of the heartbeat of this area.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right? Like just kind of what I was talking about, you know, the last 5 years coaching in college, and that was pretty cool. I don't know if I got one text after a win, and we won a lot of games, but, you know, I woke up this morning, I had like 30 unanswered text messages. So it's like we're talking about high school baseball. So it's pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot of eyes, and it's cool that people pay attention to it, and, you know, the quality of baseball is really good.
And you're a married man now, buddy. The wedding was pretty badass. How's there? Look at you, man. I mean, just talk about how much you've grown as an individual since, you know, being there and now being back here in Tampa.
Yeah, I mean, it's been really cool. You know, I say this all the time, but, you know, without Sierra, honestly, none of this would be possible, man. We've done this all together. Really, you know, when both of us were done with school, she moved up to North Carolina when I took my first volunteer job up there. And she's been with us every step of the way. She was a big part of the process of you know, if we want to go home or do we want to stay up there? What are we, you know, looking to do? You know, she built a life up there as well. So it wasn't, you know, you would think you come home like, hey, Sierra, what do you want to do? You want to go home? It was really easy. It really wasn't, because, you know, we built a life up there. We were really happy up there. And like I said, we were really only looking for the right opportunity, and that was here at Steinbrenner.
Behind every great baseball coach is a wife standing
behind, no doubt about it,
shaking her finger, letting you know that you kept that guy in one batter too long. That's we got to make a shirt for that. Yeah. That's actually a good one.
My old boss used to call her coach. She was the third coach on the staff. He let us know after every game.
Talk about your family and your dad, because I know how involved he is, and your mom. I mean, I remember back into the Tampa Makos days all the way back then, but just to have a guy like your pops and your mom's support over the years, like what that means to you, and just to have them, you know, just to be back in the same community as them.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. It's awesome. You know, my dad's on staff with us, helping us out with the pitchers, which is really cool. So when we get to have him out, you know, benefits of me. It's really cool to be on the same field with him again. But yeah, with him and my mom, I don't know if there was a whole lot of weekend series they missed, you know, me playing or coaching the last few years. So I guess they just have to come up to veterans now. They don't have to jump on a plane.
That is great. And the field, you guys can see, if you've ever driven up north on the Veterans, and you've seen that baseball field to your right, that is Steinbrenner High School. So if you want to be able to go out to a game, go check them out and check out what the Warriors are all about. So tell us about the team, Chenzo. Tell us about the game last night. What was the key? What was key to your victory last night? And who are some of the players we need to keep an eye on moving forward this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think when I look at it, we have some guys that have played a lot of baseball, last year and before with Kelton Mears, Nick Osborne, Noah Fowler, Kason Bell, Austin List. They played a lot of baseball for us, and they're going to continue to be a big part of what we do. But we have some newcomers now, some young guys. With Gavin Mix playing shortstop as a sophomore,
wow.
Will Hobitzel playing the outfield as a sophomore. Mason Kumis is a senior, didn't have a ton of opportunities last year, but it's in our starting lineup now as a senior. There's a lot of young guys. Ty Ciccarello behind the plate, junior, kind of getting his first look. So it's about half of our lineup, has played some baseball and half of them haven't. So it's a cool opportunity. But last night, Carson Kruger threw the baseball super well, committed to HCC. I think he threw 3 innings, 9 punch outs, something like that. He threw the ball well. That's kind of what we expect him to do, to go out there and give us a chance to win every week. And he did that.
That's amazing to be able to have your own guys. Where do you think, how long do you think it takes for you to kind of put your own imprint on Steinbrenner? Because you have Coach Crumbley, and you don't want to come in and upset the apple cart altogether, right? But I understand that. But you also want to make sure that you make it your own. So what are some of those things that you've done to kind of put your own imprint on it?
Yeah, I think, just my, we're obviously a little different. I'm 27 years old. So just the energy and how we want to go about things is a little bit different. But at the end of the day, we're all trying to play clean baseball and give us a chance to win every night. I think the biggest thing for us as a program is what we can do facility-wise for us to be able to compete at a high level and not take so many off days. As you know, a lot of schools in the county have covered cages and things like that. We don't yet. So from the facility side of it, that's really what we're trying to do in our fundraiser efforts to put us in that kind of situation.
So I'm looking at your schedule right now and looking at some of these teams with these coaches. On the 18th, you play Gaither with Coach Nellie North. You play Dennis Braun. On the 25th at Plant. You're facing Eric Luxus at Sickles. You're taking on you're going to Jefferson and taking on Spence Nunez, who we've known for many, many years as well. I mean, what is that like to be able to see guys that you either played against or played for? It's pretty incredible, kind of that fraternity of coaches when it comes to Hillsborough County baseball.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. A lot of these guys I've had a relationship with the last few years, just kind of recruiting their players a lot of times. And now it's funny, again, part of those text messages last night were a lot of guys you just mentioned. So I have a lot of respect for all those guys. They all do an unbelievable job. And I'm just kind of excited to be able to compete against those guys all year.
Even Coach Crum, you just called me old. There he is. Coach Crum is here. Hell yeah. If he didn't do it, I did. I love you, you old bastard. We love you. What's kind of the goal, Chenzo, for this year? First season, obviously, like you say, you got a lot of young guys there. As you look for goals for the team, what would you say it is?
Yeah, I think for us, it's just continuing to get better every day and giving us an opportunity come April to be able to play for a state championship, So to me, that's the biggest thing. Kind of continue to get better every game, every day, and then kind of see where we are in April. 6A is loaded. Not even. Obviously our district, Plant, Gaither, Armwood, Tampa Bay Tech. In our region, you got Sickles, and even just in Hillsborough County, Bloomingdale, Durant, Land O'Lakes. And that's just kind of the schools right here. So it's a loaded class. It's exciting. But my goal would be in April, come that time, is put us in position to play for it all.
Yeah, and I look at all the different teams, and I mentioned like the coaches that have been here a while. Like, again, like kind of rounding out our conversation here, being able to coach in the Tampa Bay area, right? Like, I know how much this means to you as a kid that grew up playing at Wellswood, playing at TC, going to play college ball, and obviously coaching. And to be able to come back here, you mentioned there was only really 4 jobs that you would take, but just to be here in the Bay Area, to coach high school baseball with your dad. I mean, just try to put into words like the opportunity to kind of live out a dream.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's been really cool. I think me and Sarah talk about it all the time. Still, we're kind of getting used to being home, and there's always something to do. But as far as the baseball goes in the school, it's been awesome. I know from administration here with Miss Ewell, Mr. Duncan, they've supported me all the way. This is a transition, not just coaching baseball, but I'm teaching So some new stuff to that. So it's been unbelievable. I couldn't ask really for it to start any better. I've had a lot of support here, and it's been a lot of fun. So I'm excited to kind of continue getting going.
What are you teaching?
So I'm in ESC, but I'm in the science department.
Nice. All right. Now, the last question I have for you is every single Steinbrenner team going to have a Chenzo Scanio specialty submarine pitcher out of the bullpen? Because
you got to talk to Dad about. He's been joking about this all the time. It was funny. I saw a guy throwing a bullpen the other day. I was like, "What are we doing?" It was like he was dropping an arm slot. So that is Dad's thing. He would love to have one. So would I. But we don't have one right now. But I hope we do.
As a guy that when I grew up playing in New York City and I had to throw sidearm and submarine or else I would have got tattooed, I always loved watching Chenzo on the mound because, guys, if you're just watching for the first time, Chenzo used to go all the way, I'm talking all the way down there, and he would throw these Frisbees up there, and you'd have these big old D1 recruits that can hit the ball 500 feet, and Chenzo would throw a ball that would just flutter through the air at about 67 miles an hour, and the guy would swing so hard and it would go right into the mitt. And I don't know if I've ever seen high school hitters as mad as when Chenzo would strike them out with a ball that could barely break a pane of glass because he threw it submarine style. It was so freaking great. Chenzo, I'm proud of you. I love you. I'm just so happy. And when I saw last night that you guys won, I was like, I got to get him on the show today. Please send my love to Sierra, Mom, Dad, the entire family. Best of luck. I'll be out at the field soon enough to see you do your thing. Get back to work, my friend, and have a great rest of the week. Thanks, pal.
I appreciate it, man.
Talk to you soon, buddy.
Yeah.
All right.